Hi, this is Mitchell Levy, and welcome to episode 118 of Thought Leader Life. As I mentioned, we're doing some interesting this month, and that is I'm actually being my own co-host. I made a decision that the cobbler will have shoes, and I'm using this tool, Thought Leader Life, not just to create 17 assets, but also to create an aha book of one which, I was starting to write and realized that we should use Thought Leader Life for. And the aha book is really about why should you create a aha book and how to go about doing it. So the why and the how. And I've got a great guest with us today. It's Dr. Tianna Conte. She is a self-evolution mentor, a best-selling author, and film producer. And Tianna, thank you for agreeing to join me.
Oh, thank you, Mitchell. I am so excited to make a difference in people's lives with your brilliance.
Well, you make me blush. You can probably see the red coming. Thank you. It was interesting. We met at a conference,
Yes.
And you almost, maybe you should talk about it instead of me sort of making up. Talk about how we met and what sort of went through your mind in terms of what this concept meant to you.
Well, do you want me to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Hey, we're live, whatever you want.
Well, since I've been clairvoyant since I was a child, there was a beautiful light around you. I think I mentioned that to you. And so then I was like, I wonder what connection I have with this person, because I only get those clairvoyant visions when it's something impactful, either personally or professionally. So I'm like, okay, Spirit, he's handsome, but he's a married man. So if it's a professional connection, bring him to me. And there we were, just having wine at the bar, and we started talking. And I just turned to you right away and I said, "Tell me who you are and what you do, because I feel that there's a kindred connection here, and that only happens when it's with someone significant for a bigger vision." And then you told me about the aha books. Remember?
I trust me, you're an unforgettable person. So yes, of course I remember.
Okay. And so as soon as you told me about the aha books, I just was like, oh, tell me more, tell me more, tell me more. Because having been an author for over a decade, a best-selling author, I've done the range. I've got like almost half a dozen books under my belt. And the first, well, that came by divine intervention, literally. I mean, my ghostwriter was a true, what people would say, ghost, meaning my husband, who's departed from physical reality. I could hear him, feel him, and again, because of my clairvoyant gifts, so started the work, and we ended up having 3 books, a trilogy called Love's Fire, Beyond Mortal Boundaries, and Living the Awakened Journey, and Initiation into the 21st Century. So it's all about visionary, trailblazing possibility for where people can go. Nice. And so that was an evolutionary, epic, proportional. And most people, when they're writing their first book, it's in their head or in their heart or in their soul for a decade or more, or they're working on it and working on it and working on it and working on it, which is very natural. It's the human condition. We want perfection, and we keep thinking it needs more tweaking, it needs more tweaking. So it takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of money to get even one book out into the world and even selling. So that was one range. Then the other range I saw was, okay, nowadays compilation books, and I'm in 2 of those as well. So they're wonderful as well. However, same thing. There's many different authors. You get the right theme, but you're not uniquely standing out. So when you told me about the aha books and my light bulb, my aha moment happened, and it wasn't because we were drinking wine, because we were just talking while the wine was being poured. And I thought, whoa, a person has an idea, and then they can take that one idea. And being a film producer based on Think and Grow Rich, that was what got me very turned on. I went, oh my God, one idea turns into an aha moment for that author. And then it's easy to take a step into starting an aha book. And you make the process so easy. And I said, oh my goodness. And then that person is with their unique niche, with their unique idea, and it brands them as a credibility expert, because you've heard and everybody's heard that a book is for credibility. It's more like a business card than it is a book. Well, when you're giving away a book that took you gazillion hours and gazillion dollars, yeah, you're like, do I really want to give them this? But if you have an aha book, which is the key message that you're about, and you want them to hear your uniqueness and the brilliance of coupling it with social media, I was like, whoa, this is a new pathway. And that's when I said, okay, Mitchell, you're going to have to change your form a little bit. Remember when I said to you, I said, you're introducing a new paradigm. And that's going to take the early adopters or the first one like me who say, yes, yes, I'm on board. And that's when I said, okay, send me whatever, I'm going to be there. And I maintain my promise. You remember I told you I'd become your first, I'd get in there and listen to your webinar and actually purchase.
Yeah, you're a first webinar purchaser, so thank you. I appreciate that. We've had more since, but it's always good to be number one, and you were number one.
I was number one. I want to be number one, and I told you I not only have a virgin experience with you on it, but I would use that as my claim to fame, because for me, who's already a best-selling author of almost half a dozen books, to say, hey, I want this and I want more of these once I get my technology together so that I can actually produce the book. But that's a whole other aside. That's what excited me.
What we talked about, which was fascinating to me to think about, was your understanding of the vision here. And that is one of the problems that I have, and obviously you've touched upon this a ton, is that first-time author who takes years, decades. Yes. Sometimes they wait till they retire, in which case the book is in most cases irrelevant, right?
Yes, exactly.
And so when I talked to you, by the way, you didn't meet my challenge of doing it over the weekend yet.
I already told you. I got but in respect to me, I did my homework that I have all the quotes from all my books that I want to have. I did do that in the weekend. I just don't have to upload and download and send load and whatever load. That's my problem.
Well, we need a special hand-holding course for those folks. I'll work on that one as well.
Another idea. That's another idea.
So you wrote, so that's so super cool. So what's fascinating, what you mentioned is you have this aha moment. It produces that idea, the aha idea, which results in an aha book. And now you're holding in your hand, whether it's metaphorically, right, because you're sharing it on social media, or physically, where you physically share somebody the book, you're actually holding a very niche product that will solve a customer's issue.
Yes.
And then you're the one who told me, well, then you do another one for another client.
Yes, because imagine a person has a problem, and that's what everybody wants to do to make a difference in the world, is what are their unique gifts in solving someone's problem. But it's one thing, like I do a lot of consultations, but it's another thing to say, here, these are the best of what I recommend in this area, this area, this area. Take this book, read it, see if it lights up something for you. You may want to do an aha book, or you may want to do some other form of, it's a quickie. It's a quickie, and this is a society that wants a little bit of fast. An aha book is relatively fast to produce and relatively fast to read, and then relatively fast to share on social media because it's bite-sized. I was calling them little love bites. The 140 characters is a Twitter feed, but it's, since my books are Love's Fire, that's my brand. I'm like, oh, they're little love bites, BYTES.
I love that.
Yeah. So that's what's exciting. A person can take their soul's gift, and that's my passion. It's seeing, who is this person? What is their unique gift that they came to give the planet that only they are uniquely qualified to give, and how to give that gift to the world as quickly to make a greater difference in as many people's lives. So I saw things right away while we were talking as a ripple effect, global ripple effect. That's what I said, Mitchell, this isn't about a book, it's about a movement. Remember when I said that to you? Absolutely. I said it's a movement, and a movement is more exciting than just a book in this field, a book in this field, a book. It's not only a movement in the aha book series, but once an author gets started, and starts working with people, does VIP days or whatever they do, they put a book to that message. It's a movement. It's a message with a movement. And that's what totally got me excited. And then you were generous enough to, I said, can I take the book overnight? Because I'm one of these people, like by divine osmosis. I take something, I sleep on it or near it, and the next morning the vision completely unfolds. And that's when the social media connection to the book unfolded. I hadn't gotten that since, even though I'm on Facebook and everybody can, you know, ping me or do whatever at Tianna Conte. Facebook limits what you do, you know, kind of stuff. I have Tianna Conte author, but they limit, they're crazy. So I love them and I respect them. But I'm like, okay, but this is a Twitter. This could go on more things than just a Facebook. And this could be shared easier with a lot of people because it's bite-sized, or like I say, love bites. And that then turned me on so much. And when I get that turned on, I couldn't wait to find you the next day. Mitchell, I got it. I see not only for myself. And that's when I said, okay, I'm going to take the best highlights of my own books and tell people, here's my love bites. You can get the best of me in this. If you want more, there's the books. Then I've got the consultations. I've got the private days. I've got the journey work. That's not just me. That could be for any author out of the gate. And so that blesses people faster. And then it also, one of the things I didn't even get a chance to tell you, Mitchell, it anchors the message, it imprints it, because imagine being given the book or being given it by the person you're relating to who's empowering you with that message. It's like I used to call it touchstones for the soul. You touch and it imprints and it becomes that much more meaningful. So it goes beyond just credibility factor. It goes to unique gifting factor.
I like that. It's fascinating to me. Here's one of the things that went through my mind is I wrote a book a while back. It was also a bestseller called 42 Rules for Driving Success with Books. How do you use books successfully? And one of the rules is the autograph. And I can't remember the author who wrote that, and I should know that off the top of my head. And it was when you're meeting somebody and you're writing that special inscription inside the book to the person.
Yes.
Here's what you got me thinking about. And that is, if you know your aha book, or in your case, if you know your love bites well enough, and you're interacting with somebody, when you sign the book, you sign them on the love bites that's appropriate to them.
Oh, absolutely. That's brilliant. Yeah.
Oh, you said it. I just heard it.
No, but you added that special, see, we're both talking about that special touch. So then what you're doing, you know, when they say the know, like, and trust factor, right away you've got compatibility, rapport, know, like, and trust, because you're looking into the eyes of that very person. And then, oh, this is what I get for you, and this is what I have here, and thank you for trusting me. So, and it's just, so it's fun. It's fun. Usually producing a book is exciting and whatever, but fun, I'm not so sure. Like those LinkedIn messages and everything else. But bite-sized things, that's fun. Or like people are already calling it for me. They're like, oh, we can't wait to get the Tianna tidbits. And I'm like, ooh, I never even thought of Tianna tidbits, but they want Tianna tidbits. So I'm not technologically savvy. That's why even sending people to a website is still a stretch, because other than the one that I have for my energy work, which was a terrible URL, infinitepossibilitiesproductions.com. And boy, those were the old days. People don't have a way of getting the info, but now I can do it. I can get the AHA book ready, that it will have its own website, and that's a giveaway. Mine will be a come get, you know, here. Everybody can do something like that. It could be quickly getting a platform. That's the word I was looking for. People need to know that just writing a book is not it. Even just going to the publishing of a book is not it. It's creating a platform. And social media creates platform. And AHA books create platform because they're tidbits of wisdom and can go viral really quickly. And that's what I saw. That's what was different. So I saw an evolution because I'm into evolution. I see things as spirals. So here's traditional publishing. Then you have more of the hybrid new publishing. And here's the aha books, which start their own movement. Because here's the traditional publishing takes the longest to produce. Most royalties are pittance for most authors, unless you get a really good, whatever that is, cash advance, whatever that's called again, deposit, whatever. The hybrid books, or the ones you self-create yourself, take a lot more time as well. And then there's the aha books, which take the least amount of time and cost less than the costly energy it takes here, and the publisher gets most of the money, or here, and you have to put in a lot of work, and luckily, you also put less money than the publisher, but you still are, limited. And here, you're free. You're free with time, you're free with money, and you've got a platform. Duh.
And then I think, as I mentioned to you, one of the things that's super cool, and this was a pleasant surprise for you today, is that the author actually gets 51% of profit. So
I was blown.
Yeah. So, well, aha books themselves, we don't sell. It's free to use, free to share. But if you turn it into a PDF and Kindle version, and we're selling it on Kindle, you get 51% of profit there. When we turn it into paperback and hardcover, and I think I just showed you these two before, you turn it to paperback and hardcover, these are priced, so we have a price tag on the paperback for $20, for the hardcover for $25. Typically how you use a book is you give your book to your prospect or your client, you do the personal signature. And as you mentioned, I love this, you cement the relationship, you cement the concept you're giving. And then, of course, if your client happens to be somebody who either is buying hundreds or thousands of copies for their employee base, or your personal movement catches on and people buy your book, you get 51% of profit. We'll do a P&L once a quarter. So we're trying to make this to be, it's your book, and when you're ready to snap your fingers, you should have a new one. You don't have to wait every 2 or 3 or 4 years to do a book. You should be thinking about every quarter doing a new book focused on a new niche.
And that's it. And you can do it, and anything that excites you can be that niche. Or in my case, the movie that's based on Think and Grow Rich. That's entrepreneurial, because one of my passions is wanting to awaken the entrepreneurial spirit in people to shift this paradigm so people can use their gifts, their talents, and prosper. What a concept. And 51% shows two things, Mitchell. So when I got surprised and happy when you gave me that, is because, one, you're honoring the author more than you're honoring yourself. That 51%, not even 50-50, shows a generous spirit right there. And two, you're also going to be promoting it in your own various ways. So everybody wins. It's a win-win-win situation for a book that's done relatively fast, easy, painless, and brands your uniqueness of your aha ideas, aha moments. I mean, and since I'm into Napoleon Hill, one idea can change your life and change the world. One idea. So one idea, one aha moment book. One idea, one aha moment book. It can be a ripple effect for all concerned. I mean, I just got so excited. I was like, who would not want to do this? Seriously. And I love the way you can step it up. They can just get the digital thing to get started, feet wet, then the Kindle version, then the hard copy version. I mean, just get started. That's the key thing. When I work with people in my own GPS work and stuff, I tell them, just take a step, any step. You can't go on a journey unless you take a step, and make it as easy access, fun, and simple, so the courage to take that step happens. Because once you take those steps, then evolution takes over and it gets faster, funner, and all sorts of great things take. But if you don't take that step, nothing happens. So the aha book is that step toward that movement. That's how I see it. That was my vision.
Nice. Well, you had said something before, and I want to make sure we capture it so it's an aha moment. my ghostwriters, please attribute this one to Tianna. Okay. You had said, as a call to early adopters,
Yes.
these books, AHA books, are for the visionary who wants to play bigger in the world.
Yes. Yes.
So do you want
That
to, so I love that quote. Do you want to, amplify that?
Yeah, I absolutely will, because what I said is, since I'm a trailblazer, I look for the next evolutionary step. And the AHA books are that. They give people that momentum to go farther faster, which is so important, and get their unique gift out to make that global ripple effect, to make a bigger difference, as opposed to sitting with an idea in your head or keeping it on your laptop. It comes in form. What a concept. Physical manifestation from spirit to form, and then form to function, sending it out to people and making a difference in people's lives. And watching people, like, one of the greatest honors I get is when people come up to me and say, reading your book or what you just said has changed my life, or you made such a difference. I mean, I practically go into tears. And I love other people with their gifts and talents to have that tearful moment. And AHA Books is easy pass. That's it. It's an easy pass into being a trailblazer in your own niche. And I can't wait to tell everybody I know.
Well, I have two paths I want to take the conversation, but one, I want to make sure that I had a thought before, and I went a different path. So now I want to come back to this one.
Okay.
When you're talking about a trailblazer who actually puts their content together in an AHA book and shares it with a very narrow niched audience, because everyone has something to say.
Mm-hmm.
That's my definition of an AHA leader.
Ah, beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, because you're an AHA leader, which, by the way, is all of us have some AHA moments in us. The AHA leader is our own personal curator. It's the person we go to ask for love bites, tidbits, AHA moments, AHA messages, sound bites that sort of want to transform who we are into something else. Those are our own personal curators. Those are people we look to and respect. They aren't just the people we see on TV standing on a mountain and shouting or proclaiming. They're everyone. They're the people around the corner. They're people you ask for advice, the people you ask for directions, right? It's
exactly.
Those are AHA leaders.
Those are AHA leaders. That's a beautiful way for it. And they become trusted advisors. And everybody wants a trusted advisor that you can confide in and feel like they're seeing you and you're being seen and your gifts are being honored and guided. So that's an AHA leader. It brings out the AHA in others. An AHA leader brings out the AHA in others.
Absolutely. So what message would you want to give to your peers who you normally would say as early adopters, or those people who are sort of kind of midstream? What message do you want to give them?
Oh, it's a message we've been talking about. Get started. Take a step. See what idea and AHA moment you want to be known, and brand yourself sooner rather than later, because it is branding. And people spend a fortune to get branded. One book, one platform brands you. And so in a way, the AHA leader becomes an AHA celebrity, like a new form of celebrity. Like, my passion is to bring out the hero in people. I believe everyone is a hero. And so it's, what are you a hero in the journey of for yourself, and that you pass on to others? And that's what you can do as an AHA leader. You brand yourself. Simple, not all this heavy duty stuff. And then anything you put on social media where you are known as that AHA leader, now you have an audience. What a concept. More people to bless, more people to, exchange with. So I have a hard time, and I told you, I heard, that chicken in every pot story, and I told you something really funny. I said, when I got into hot tubs, and since my specialty is my body medicine and energy medicine, it was like, Oh, if everybody had a hot tub in their house, even one of these plastic little bubble ones for $300, they go in it, they would release the stress, decrease the cortisol, their mind is clearer, the body's refreshed. I was like on a movement to want to create or have a hot tub in every household. And I said, well, now I could see having Aha Book as your own platform in every household, because it's even simpler than the hot tub idea, and it beats the chicken. And it could cause a lot of great connections, great possibilities, because out of ideas breeds more ideas and breeds more prosperity and possibilities. And I'm all about prosperity and possibilities. And that's your Aha Books and Aha Leaders are a gateway to that, and to social media, which then makes it go viral. So I got so excited. It was like I'm ready to run my own little crusade, you know, telling everybody, tell me a just reason why you would not want to do one. Give me a good reason not to do it, especially those who, everybody's got a book inside them. Who wants to be at their end of life on their rocking chair or whatever, saying, I wish I could, I should have, I could have, it's too late. You can even think of grandparents could do an Aha book if they don't want to write a book, but they want to just write their pearls of wisdom for their families. It could be a legacy book. There's so many possibilities I see in the vision. So to me, it's like, who won't do this or can't do this? Like I said, it's the simplest form.
I think you'll love this. One of our authors who has written, I think 4 or 5 so far, Jeff Shavitz, he has a daughter who's 15, who's going to college, and it's the middle daughter. And I say that because the middle daughter is different than, you know, the middle child's always different than the one at the beginning and the end, right? And so he sat down with her and they did a book. We haven't published it yet, but we're really close. And it's called, are you ready for the title? Mom and Dad, I Promise I'll Get into College.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
And that's so it was a phenomenal chance for both of them to share, and it's written into four sections. You know, first she talks, and then he talks, and then she talks, and then he talks, and even the experience where they went out to get a photograph for the beginning sections was a lifetime event, right? And I love the book. I'm sure you will as well. But now you can imagine every event in life, every life event in one way or the other. There should be, and you got me thinking this, an Aha book in every household,
I'm telling you, because also one of my things, I had a near-death experience, and I realized all we take with us is the love we've given and the love we've received and the memories. So make the best memories, leave a lasting legacy in whatever way you can. And that's how come I really got so excited by the Aha books, because I'm like, oh my God, who can't do this? Or it's more like won't do this, and that's their option. Nobody has to do anything. But for those who have a longing to want to make a difference in their own family lives, their own platform, their own audience, or the world, this is a easy step, easier than the compilation books where you're just one of many, which I love. I respect all the co-authors, and there's a community there. But what you're also creating is a community, because did I understand correctly that all the Aha books and their authors will give people permission to take the quotes and use them in their own books? Was I accurate about that?
Yes, and actually I put my fingers in the air, but I forgot that there are people who are listening only. Those that are listening, yes. So by publishing the Aha Amplifier, your message, in your case, your love bite is sitting out there with attribution that anyone could take it and share it.
Yeah, and so your wisdom can touch people even without you being there, being the cause that sends it there. You don't know how the universe, in its infinite wisdom, is going to disseminate it. I mean, I came up with one idea once for divorce ceremonies back in the 90s. And it wasn't just divorce for married couples. It was divorce when you have a committed relationship and you want to let go, to do it with dignity and not to carry over the baggage. Well, a friend of mine said, oh, that's a brilliant idea, Tianna. We really should let the world know about it. I said, well, I don't know how you She goes, why don't we put a little ad in New York Magazine? We put it with an 800 number. And my sign, my thing was celebrate endings for empowered new beginnings. Guess who called me? The New York Times. Guess who got featured in the New York Times? Moi. Why? One little teeny idea in New York Magazine. Well,
Nice.
the tidbits that come with 140 characters, because that's what each of the quotes for the AHA books are, that's how fast they could be sent out, and who knows where it's going to land. Again, what I love is the vision of AHA Ripples. Hey, it sounds like a great wine. We met at a wine bar, AHA Ripples. But that's what I see. And another idea just came to mind right now, because a friend of mine is right here with me, as well as Strusky's, my little Shih Tzus running around, is people can be professional in their fields and not want to do a whole book, but still want to give their wisdom and put it in a form that's easy to read and easy to share. Again, the AHA books lead that credence really quick. And a professional like myself, who, let's say I have an idea on a disease that people are working with, or thing that somebody's having trouble with, could put together an AHA book with all these quotes that give people inspiration, hope, courage, and put it out quickly, as opposed to a book that takes a long, long time sometimes, and even a compilation book that takes a long, long time sometimes, just to get everybody together and ready and go. Like you said, you do it in a weekend. I put my book together in a weekend. I just didn't put it into form in a weekend because of my technology challenges. But as far as putting it, I've got the quotes. They're ready to go. You know, and I'm excited, because once that happens, then I actually get a website going where that's what I'm going to just give away to everybody as my gift, so they can have tips on health and wealth and love, and something from a best-selling author in little bite-sized forms that they can enjoy and pass on without giving permission. Since we give permission in the AHA books, I give permission freely to send these on. And those books I independently publish, so I'm the publisher, I can give permission. And everybody gets blessed. And everybody then gets a taste. That's another thing. AHA books give people a taste. If they want to go deeper, they then can go deeper. So that's another thing. You know, start there. It's an easy start to your own publishing empire. And it just ripples. Again, I keep saying ripples, but it just does.
Well, every business person, whether you're a coach or the CEO of a company, and you have either customers or employees or temp people, you have people helping you, you absolutely need an opportunity to have a platform to share. And
exactly,
that's what this thing does for you. And but I like it. It's a taste. That's a great, I have to play on that. So the AHA book is a taste of you, and people will want to have more.
Yes, that sounds perfect. It's everybody wants more. And if you give them a taste of you, they'll want more of you if they're your tribe. And the AHA book helps kind of bring your tribe to, I mean, that's what I'm totally turned on and excited about. And I know, because you were lit up, that there is not only a beautiful, generous heart, soul visionary in you and in the AHA company, but in the difference it can make in the world. And that's my biggest passion, is how do we touch more people's lives? As a matter of fact, my dream as a 9-year-old, which is in one of my first books, is that a woman from the stars put something into my hand, I put it into someone's hands, and they turn to light. They put it into somebody's hands, they turn to light. And before you know it, the world, the globe, like a globe that was dark, all turns to light. That's the movement. And that's what I could see with an AHA book that goes beyond just a business card. So everybody, I don't like to use words like should and try, but everyone, I urge them to get started in the AHA movement.
I love it. So don't procrastinate. Create your AHA book now.
Exactly.
You know, I didn't mention this at the beginning, and I have for the series. We're right in the middle of a name transition. So we're moving from the name AHA Amplifier to AHA That, because
that's much easier. Half the people can't even spell AHA Amplifier because
exactly. So what happens is you now have a verb you can use. when you share your book and you say, don't forget to aha that.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, the part of me that's a mind body expert says instead of don't forget, because that's giving the subconscious a permission to forget because it doesn't know no
Oh,
or
I got
don't.
you.
It's remember.
Remember, or did you, or please.
Right. Right. Yes. So yeah, words like should need to be translated to could so that you don't should on yourself. And words like try need to be eliminated because Yoda got it right. You either do or you don't do. There's no try.
Got it. I hear you. Hey, well, this was fantastic. Thank you so much for your time and energy.
Oh, no, this has been a great, great, delicious joy. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. So is there a particular question I should have asked that we didn't, or is there any point you'd like to close with? And then, of course, how do people reach out to you?
Okay, first, delete that could, the question. And my thing is just to remind people in closing, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. If you make, or I encourage them to make an aha step, they will find their world will open up into the new paradigm of publishing and the new paradigm of possibilities and prosperity for a global effect. That's my passion. Anybody who wants to reach out to me can always call me. I'm one of these few people that loves to touch base. It's 800-711-5903 or just Dr. Tianna, that's just DRTIANNA @gmail.com. I will respond to everybody. It sometimes takes a while, but I do. Or if they want to go to Infinite Possibilities Productions with an S at both.com, they can see about the energy work I do, the energy medicine, and they can sign up for some frequency stuff. So that could help give them that quantum leap because I'm all about quantum possibilities. How's that, Mitchell?
Tianna, that was awesome. I can tell that you've been on radio, TV, in front of the camera often. So you do that well. For me, for those that are listening, watching, it's Mitchell Levy. Feel free to Google me, and you'll find me. I've got a ton of different websites. Link up to me on LinkedIn or Facebook or Twitter. Ask questions if you have. You can go to Aha That. So go to ahathat.com, and you could easily learn how to publish, write, author. And I am so glad we were recording because what you said at the end, your summary was just so beautiful. I really appreciate it.
Oh, I'm so touched. Just from my heart and soul to yours and to everyone listening and to the global possibilities that your company represents. I just applaud you.
Oh, I can't wait. So anyhow, we will be, as soon as we get your book, we'll publish it. And so if you want to see, by the time you're listening or watching this, I'm sure we have Dr. Tianna's book out. And so go to the Amplifier and just search her name and you'll see it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I've had a big smile on my face the entire time, and I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Good. Hey, those listening and watching, thanks for joining us this episode. Look forward to seeing you at the next episode of Thought Leader Life. Take care, everybody. Bye now.